Conference
doing
will
well. How
now
are
be
you?
recorded.
Good. I'm down in West Yellowstone. I'm assuming you're up in, is it Helena?
Helena, yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Hey, Corey.
Hello, Eric.
Hey, the office looks great, dude.
Nice.
Those guys
Awesome.
did a great job.
Well, that's
Stuff
what they do for a living, so
taking a while to dry, but they did a good job. It looks real good.
good deal.
They used to print them out. We had a mailbox, and we could pick the packet up, and it would all be printed. But then we got. Oh, do we still use them even? I thought it was all on the computer.
There's stuff in there, but I
I thought it was on the computer.
But it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, there was some stuff in there. It was sometimes I'll come in and it'll be sitting up here for people. They didn't know we had a mailbox.
That's right. I found a girl in Red Lodge, and she was so. We were talking about tax report stuff, so I called him and asked questions. But she came in, and she's a W clerk. But she answered. It was a godsend. I just emailed her, and she'd be like, "Okay, this is good." It's been amazing. It's easy. That was something that at training that did honestly scare me, was that we're signing out like crazy. Ultimately, we're responsible. And then we were like, he's not just grumpy as he seems.
Maybe, but also too, your writing stuff, you don't have the ability to laugh or joke when you say stuff sometimes. I haven't been on there much either. The new one, you are? There's a new website.
Oh, don't. Hi, boss.
Yeah, I finally just stopped discussing any of it with anybody. I wasn't.
Yeah, Corey's on. I don't know.
Ginger's not gonna be here. I know that. She told me when I called her, let's go.
Do you have an agenda for them now? Should we? Is she coming? Have you talked to her?
I haven't heard anything. I'll just give her one more minute.
Yeah.
And then I can say something for you.
Corey, can
About that.
Corey, you ready? No, I'm just kidding.
It's supposed for said something about him a while ago and he didn't say anything. Hey Corey, can you hear us?
Sort of, yeah.
Do you know if Nikki's coming tonight?
So Nikki said she was going to call in and make a motion for John Way to run the meeting. Is John there?
Okay.
Is John not there?
Yeah, I'm here, Corey. I just walked in.
Oh, cool.
All right, let me-
Your mic's not-
Do we have an assistant?
We have 4 commissioners.
Or could one of us make a motion for that to happen, or?
Hang on, let me.
Yeah, John's gonna get us started. Just give him a second
Okay.
for November. It's almost gone this year.
20.
I saw though a new, it looks similar to the Thoughts and Rants. I saw something also, I thought they had a second, side
Stephanie,
up.
your inside line is on.
Is it still on? Thank you. I messed with it just a few minutes ago.
So you guys know Nikki's not.
We just kind of heard that.
She sent an email about an hour ago.
I've been on the mountain with elk hunters. I just kind of rolled in, changed my clothes, and
I asked if we were gonna cancel and Colette replied that she.
yeah, she's online. All right, I'll take care of it as soon as we get her there.
Yes. Otherwise, I'm always on my phone. I never have to log in by a different.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock this thing. All right, let's open, call to order the Ennis Town Commission meeting, November 20th, 2025. We're opening the meeting. It is 6:32 PM. Roll call. Commissioner Hardy,
Here.
Commissioner Abernathy,
Here.
Commissioner Raskin,
Here.
and Commissioner, well, I'm here, and Commissioners, how do you pronounce your last
I
name?
was gonna say Sally.
Sally.
The C silent,
Yeah.
yeah. Figured you'd look over there.
Perfect.
that way.
We have established a quorum. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance real quick. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, public comment on non-agenda items. At this time, we'll have public comment on any item not on the agenda of the current meeting.
Thank you. Myron Walmo, Ennis, Montana. The last commission meeting, I thought it was a great chance to have law enforcement report in person. It is rather obvious that having the full-time department as the sheriff's department handling the coverage of this fine community beneficial. But in the long run, it's quite a savings to the taxpayers of the town of Ennis. Trimming the maintenance repair of vehicles, vehicle mishaps, fuel, and lavish uniforms. Now, if the town of Ennis would curtail frivolous costs for unnecessary expenditures on employees' personal leaves, then the taxpayers would have an added tax dollars to help cover important projects like water wells, infrastructure, and street maintenance. Food for thought. Thank you.
Thank you. Second call for public comment. Anybody online would like to make a comment on any item not on the agenda of today's meeting? Last call. Hearing none, we will close the public comment period for the November 20th meeting. Scheduled matters. Approval of the base bid contract for the Ennis New Well and Well House Improvement Project to 4050 Development in the amount of $621,505. It looks like we have Colette from our engineering firm, Great West, on with us. Colette, could you give us a little background on this? I know in the last meeting we were surprised that we only got one bid, and that bid was more expensive than what we were figuring. Can you help us sort through this?
Yeah, sure. So I don't have any control over how many people choose to bid on these projects, but we did put the project out to bid. It advertised in the newspaper. I don't remember how many times, at least 2, but it may have been a 3rd time as well. So that's, meets the state law requirements. So it was a publicly advertised bid. We opened bids publicly and we only received one bid. It is pretty late in the year. Contractors are fairly busy. And so that may have, it's a relatively small project. I guess it's a big project, but in comparison to a lot of projects, it's relatively small. And so just may not have attracted other bidders. I'm not exactly sure why, but that could have been one of the reasons. So as far as, the cost coming in a little higher than the estimate, I'm not sure, exactly why that is, but in a less competitive bidding environment, which is what it seems like it was with only one bid, that tends to drive prices up a little bit. Costs, have been a little bit all over the place the last couple of years also. So that's, I can't speak to exactly how the contractor came up with his numbers. I'm not really privy to that. So if anybody has any specific questions, happy to try to address them.
Yeah, can you elaborate on which newspaper, and was it more than one?
No, typically it's just to the newspaper of record. So I don't know if Ginger is there.
Where contractors say go to a site and look and see what's available. It did go out to, I don't know, how many of those, 4 or 5 different websites? Something like that.
It goes out to all the plans exchanges. And quite honestly, I believe most of the contractors get their projects off of the plans exchanges and they don't necessarily find them in the newspapers, but it was published in the newspaper and it did go to the plans exchanges around the state. And it was also published on our Quest CDN website that we use for electronic bidding.
In your opinion, should we try to rebid this to try to get a more competitive bid or another one, or what's your gut feeling on this?
So let me just maybe speak to the pros and cons. I think the biggest issue you guys are up against is time. Sometimes if you only get one bid, a community may choose not to award it, and they may look at, if they can make any changes or clarifications or anything that might, that they might be able to kind of improve in the bidding documents to then allow contractors to sharpen their pencils and give better prices and give other contractors an opportunity to bid more competitively. However, in this situation, you guys are utilizing ARPA money for this project. And those ARPA funds were supposed to be spent by the end of this year. We have requested an extension. We haven't got the approval for that extension, but I suspect you will soon. So you run the risk of losing access to those ARPA monies if this project is not completed. If the extension is granted, it would need to be completed by June 30th of 2026.
And the other worry that I have is that this first phase of the project came in over budget by a considerable amount. I worry that as we move through the project, each phase is going to be over budget, and that now we're $6 million project instead of a $4 million project. Can you help us with that? Is this, do you think, a one-off, a reoccurring theme? Did we set up the original budget too small?
I mean, I think that this project is a little bit unique because it's a $600,000 project versus, you know, the bigger piece of the project is going to be, you know, a few $1 million. And so there's going to be a lot more interest in the next phase of the work. I suspect that will make it much more competitive. Also, I tend to think that pipe projects are a little easier to, or excuse me, tank projects are a little bit easier to get closer on the estimates because we get quotes and proposals from tank suppliers early on in the process. And it gives you kind of a more accurate picture of what that might look like. This well project there's just some unknowns in it. I mean, anytime you're involving drillers, I mean, they have very busy schedules. And so getting them to try to meet a very tight schedule, I think probably drives prices up a little bit as well. Whereas, you know, the tank project, we won't be under the same time constraints. So there's a few different factors that makes this little piece of the project a bit more unique. So I think, you know, it should be a little easier to get more interest and more bidders and more competitive bidding process for the next phase of the project.
All right, one more question for me. What is your recommendation?
My recommendation, as stated in my letter dated October 20th, 2025, is to award the base bid to 4050 Development. We have done projects with 4050 Development, and I believe they have the qualifications to complete the work. So my recommendation is based on that. And then also just in the town's best interest, I don't want to see you lose those ARPA grants.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
I had a question. So how was the estimate arrived at? Because you stated that you were not sure why the bid came in higher than the estimate. And based on my experience with estimates, you have line by line items that you estimate, and you can compare to the quote that came in and see the differences.
Yeah, I just don't have the line. I mean, I can try to find it if you want me to, but I don't know the specific, which specific items came in higher off the top of my head. I can try to open my estimate if you want me to, but
I don't think we've seen any breakdown at all. Everything we've seen is just one big total for everything, but we haven't seen what it was breaking down to know if it's high maybe in just one place or if it's high throughout. So we're just curious.
I'm not hearing very well, sorry.
All right, one at a time. She's not hearing us very well. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that if we do a line by line, then we might be able to see a trend. If it's all in labor, we could, you know, realize that labor costs are rising constantly.
So the hard part with that is we may see, you know, that maybe the pipe costs more per foot than what we originally anticipated. Actually, no, I do have my engineer's estimate right here. I can tell you. So I don't have permission to share my screen, but so the bid tabulations have, and the bid form do have, there's, you know, 20 plus bid items. And so it's broken out by bid item. And they give a unit cost per whatever the quantity is. So, oh, maybe I can share my screen. Let's see here. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can actually see any of the lines, but might be kind of small. But anyways, this is what the bid tabulations look like. And so these are all the bid items that go in to make up the project. So, you know, you can see like right here, the well house piping, you know, we thought it would be around $40,000. The bid came in at $68,000. Now I can't say if that's where the contractor put, their profit. I don't know if that's where, it's a little more labor intensive for that piping inside the pump house. I don't know exactly what's driving that price up. Because contractors, all of them bid things a little bit differently. But right here on the building, so we were at 100,000, they were at 140,000 for the precast concrete building. Again, I don't know exactly what the difference is there, how they came up with their price, but when we put a bid like this together, or an estimate like this together, we just try to look at similar type projects that we've done over the last couple of years and base our estimates on those similar type projects.
Yeah, can you elaborate on what well completion is there? Because there's a $51,000 difference between the estimate and the quote.
Yeah, and so the well completion is the actual, like the putting, we have to do the rest of the pump testing, put the pump in, do all the aquifer testing, the pitless adapter and all the piping and everything to come back up to get it up to the surface and get the well ready to actually pump water and connect it into the pump house.
And the telemetry system, that sounds technical.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that comment.
I'm sorry, the telemetry system, that sounds technical. Would that be a subcontractor?
Yeah, so that's the other thing is some of this is, it's possible that when we were putting this estimate together, maybe a well driller bids it. This is a general contractor bidding it, and they're going to have a subcontractor come in and do the well completion. They're going to have a sub come in and do the telemetry system. I will say the telemetry estimate was put together. I mean, this estimate was put together a little while ago. The town did have MET, who helps you guys with your telemetry system, come in before this bid and actually spend some time looking through your existing telemetry system and figuring out the best way to tie this in. So I'd have to go back and speak with them directly to figure out exactly, what's in here that we weren't anticipating. But I do think that they spent some time with Eric. They spent some time there looking at all the components of your telemetry system, and they may have, figured something out that something else needs to be modified that we didn't originally anticipate. But yes, that will be a subcontractor.
Can I jump in there on that one?
Yeah.
I actually talked to Pete the other day, and our telemetry is our SCADA, and most of our SCADA stuff is outdated to the point of where if you're looking for parts, it's an eBay deal, and all of this has to be updated to get these wells working together like they do now. So it is a lot more because that system has to be updated.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, and it was just the way that is. That those prices are huge these days. Datas are not cheap.
So you're saying, Eric, that our telemetry system is basically out of date? So
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Replaced.
Absolutely, I am. I mean, it's working and we can repair it, but if, say, any major component went down in that SCADA system in the cabinets, it's a replacement. Yeah. They're, I don't know, 12 to 17 years old. I'm not sure.
It needs to be watched.
I mean, my big thing is this a trend for this whole project? Is it going to be over budget every step of the way?
Right. That's my concern. It's already more than we had planned for. And everybody knows that a contractor comes in, bids low, and ends up doing change orders constantly to increase pricing.
What was dropped from it that somebody
So-
said last meeting that
Yes.
it was like 900,000? So what was dropped from it for
No.
this phase that's going to go to the next phase?
No, that's not quite accurate. So there's also an additive alternate. And so this base bid includes completion of the well that we already drilled out there, and then the building, the piping and everything to get it all, some telemetry system updates, some fencing and all the things you need to get that well online and part of your public water system. We bid an additive alternate that would include completion of a second well on that same site. That was kind of the original intent, but we think some additional testing, aquifer testing is would make sense before just jumping right into spending this, $286,000 on that second well, because we want to make sure that it's actually able to produce water such that it would be worth it for you to spend that additional money. So if in the future you decide you want to move forward with that second well, we could add this additive alternate into the project by change order, and that would bring the total cost to $908,000.
Okay.
I guess my question is, so what are the quantity of ARPA funds that are on the line, I guess, if you will, if my math is correct? We have, this estimate is $180,000 over the original budget. So yeah, I guess how much are we looking at for ARPA funds?
I think it is, if you just give me 1 second, I can try to pull that up.
This is a capital improvement budget, so yeah, all of it's in there.
Let's see here.
Who oversees project completion? Who is the?
Yeah, our engineer, Great West, is.
They usually have tech.
Okay, so it looks like the ARPA funding in the project is $439,000. And there's about $328,590 remaining of that you would be putting towards this project.
So we should say that again. We have how much remaining?
328,590.
So we have to come up with $300,000.
Well, you have other funding, so maybe I can share this.
Well, that's just the funding we would lose if we don't meet our time. our
Correct.
deadline.
Correct.
Yeah, so this is kind of
Free money.
this spreadsheet has a lot of numbers and a lot of things, but it shows you across the top here all of your different funding sources. So you have ARPA, an MSEP grant or RGL grant, and then your state revolving fund funding. And so there's other funding, because there's also a small match component here that you have to meet. So that's just a piece of the funding puzzle, I guess. Did I answer your question, Corey?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Is there a motion? One way or the other?
To be honest, I think we don't really have a lot of choice.
When's our deadline?
2 months ago.
Yeah, and we've asked for an extension.
Yeah.
I don't know, sorry, that's
I mean,
honest.
so we're pushed on our time. We're pushed on our time. We've got,
Why are
extra money that we thought we were going to be costing on this. So we're hoping that we're we're gonna make up for that difference in one of the next phases that goes along. If we don't,
Is that a motion that I heard out of you?
I move that we accept the,
Base bid contract.
what?
I know, that's what I was getting at.
Okay, I move that we accept the base bid contract for the Ennis well and well house improvements project.
All right, second. Perfect. Any other discussion? Commissioners? Public discussion?
With the ARPA funds, when does the project have to be completed to be able to utilize those funds?
If we get them.
If you get the extension?
So Colette, can I ask a question real quick? If we don't get the extension and we
Answer
approve
June
this
30.
bid and we don't get the extension, but we say yes to this bid tonight, then what happens? Are we out all the money?
I'm fairly, there's other funding in the project, so we would be able to figure it out that way, but I'm pretty confident this extension will be granted. We've had discussions at length with the program, and the fact that you're here ready to spend this money now helps. Like that, if the project was just starting design or something, I would be much more, concerned. But there's other funding in the project, and I think you're pretty well protected. And it is June 30th of 2026.
June 30th, we have to spend it by.
No, it'd be complete.
Has to be completed by.
All right. Well, we had discussion, we had public comment discussion, one more round from the commissioners. Any other questions, comments, concerns, questions? Discussion?
I guess I had one item. I don't know how extensive this. I know it's connected, putting in a new well site and then connecting that well site to our water container. I think. So yeah, I'm just curious if we're to is it very typical to get local bidders on stuff like this, or are we, I mean, by local, I am talking like the Ennis area. Is it or do you usually see a company that has experience with doing this, and has several of them under their belt, I guess? How complex is this project?
This is a pretty straightforward project. I think there will be some subcontractors. I mean, this is pretty typical. This is what I would expect. I would see a smaller local contractor in the surrounding areas bid a smaller project like this. And I don't say smaller, I realize this is a big project for the town. It's still a lot of money. So I recognize that. But for a lot of these bigger contractors around the state, I mean, they're doing projects that are tens of millions of dollars, right? Or even $5 million. And so this is a relatively small project. And so it does not surprise me at all that it's a smaller, more local company that was interested in bidding on it. As far as the technical complexity, it's actually pretty straightforward. It's a precast building and some pipe. And then the other components will be completed. The telemetry system is specialized. That's completed by no matter who your contractor is, even if it was a big contractor like COP Construction, they're going to subcontract that to a company like MET. And then the well drilling is also, or the well completion work is also a specialized thing that is done by a driller. And drillers typically don't like to, in my experience anyways, they don't like to general these kinds of projects. They would rather be a sub to a general contractor like this. So this, this type of contractor bidding this type of project is not, I would say, yes, it's typical, and it doesn't surprise me at all.
Hey, Corey, I talked to 2 other local contractors and asked why they didn't put a bid in. And my answer I got was, they just don't pay attention to it.
It's too
And-
small.
Yeah, we did talk. I sent the invitation to bid to multiple contractors that I work with often, and I, reached out to them and tried to encourage people to bid the project. There were a couple others that had expressed interest and ended up not putting in bids, but I think that, like I said, contractors are busy towards, in the fall and early winter months of the year, wrapping up all their projects. Also, I had requirements in this project that it needed to get started this year. In order to start spending down that money. And so, not everybody is able to do that.
All right, thank you, Colette. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, let's call the vote. Commissioner Abernathy.
Aye.
Commissioner Ansel.
Aye.
Aye. Mr.
Aye.
Slase. Commissioner Harding.
Aye.
All right, so we have approved the base bid contract for the new Ennis well and well house improvements to 4050 development. Thank you, Colette, for being available for all of our questions tonight. We sure appreciate you jumping on and helping us sort through this.
Yeah,
Absolutely. If you guys think of other things, everybody has my contact information there, so you're more than welcome to reach out anytime.
All right, thank you so much again.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep. All right, moving along. Unscheduled matters. Any items not listed for the current meeting with the purpose of such discussion shall be to decide if to schedule the items for discussion or vote on a subsequent agenda. Do any board members have?
Anything we'd like to discuss?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting phone calls about a piece of land here in town, so we need to see what is zoned, I guess, and what's going on with it, over on Pearl and Clark. Has anybody else had any calls about that?
have not.
So Christie has. So we have, excavation going on the property. Ginger said it's listed as core commercial. It shows on the cadastral as it's residential. So maybe we can see, Brenda, maybe you could help us with that and see what it's listed as. If there's. a
Where
mistake
at?
over on, right across from the Sportsman on Clark and Pearl, right on the corner there. Susie, you
Oh.
might know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
It's topsoil and they're just screening it and I cannot find anything wrong with
Yeah, that's,
it. Do it, it's not a gravel pit, it's topsoil screening and it's totally, I can't find anything.
Okay, so it doesn't matter whether it's residential or commercial.
I think it's highway.
give me a second, I'll find out. Let me look on the map.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, give
Susie?
me, I gotta log in here and check this out. Susie be the one to ask about that.
Yeah, she's looking right now to see.
I think you could do it on any property, to be honest, Carla.
That I believe is commercial residential property. I mean, but don't quote me.
It's, what is it?
Highway commercial.
But I think any property,
Yeah.
because it's topsoil, you could screen on technically. I don't think it's.
Well, it's probably not a lot different than what they did here with these 3-story buildings, when they moved.
You just
that around.
reuse your dirt.
It's just, yeah, a lot of places do have a permit that you pull for when, you're gonna break ground of any kind. If you're putting in a driveway or something like that, it's like a $50 land disturbing is what they call a permit. But I don't know that we do anything like that here, so, you know,
Anything?
yeah, so.
Yeah, there's no residential, it's highway.
All right, anything else?
They're screening topsoil.
Anything else? Someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
See you later.
Did you get any help? You're up there,
Yeah, I mean, my 100, we've been doing pretty well. But
Oh, good.
we didn't kill any this evening, so I made it in time.
That's what I saw from the order report was more hunters and more.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot more than last.
yeah, I mean, all my hunters are done. We killed 4 bulls, 4 bucks. We're done. I mean, the host,
Are they up high yet?
yeah, I mean, we're hunting ranch, so it, I mean, got some good ground.
It's been so warm. I figured they're
It's unbelievably warm. I mean, it's unbelievably warm. Is it really? I was literally out there this afternoon in just like one layer.
Well, yes.
Hunting. Yeah.
It's way warm for this thing here. I can't believe it's Thanksgiving. It's all good. Brenda, do we need to clean up? No, you can. Thanks, Rafi.
Do you need any help putting this table back or anything? Okay.
How about the microphones and stuff? Can we gather them? I can do that. I don't know where they go, but I can set them all together. So I went to my softball tournament and then the 5th game, I blew my left knee out.
I noticed you're gimping around a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was doing that.
Look like ACL, LCL. That's an easier surgery.
It is, but I don't have that much, so I'm afraid it's gonna be a full knee replacement.
Oh.
Which is fine, the other one was done and